Hello there folks, welcome back to the Chap's Guide. My name is Ash. I am your host on this journey through men's style, self-development and personal grooming. And today it's one of my Am I a Chap video review series in which you gentlemen send me an image of yourself in your most chappy clothing and I will pass some observations on it. No negativity. It's all about inspiring and motivating other men to dress in a little more chap-like fashion, a little bit more sartorially. So today I'm featuring some images from a patron of mine and somebody who's been on the channel before, a sharply dressed man. It's Daniel, and he has sent me an accompanying email with his images. He says, I've recently been on a trip to Italy where I got some new sartorial items. I thought it would be nice to share them with you and maybe the viewers in another Am I a Chap video. After a few years together, I have finally got my girlfriend, Alona, to catch the sartorial bug as well. She got herself a made-to-measure suit, and he has sent me an image of Alona in her new suit, which I'll share with you also. Another issue I'd like to share with you is the observation that there seems to be a sharp decline in elegantly dressed men and women. You, me, often talk about that on the channel, but one cannot fathom the scope of it until they see the sea of hoodies and jeans in what is supposed to be the world's fashion capital, Milan, which is obviously where Daniel was visiting. And he also, a little caveat here at the bottom, one more small thing I'd like to point out is my take of Italian sprezzatura in my pinstripe suit. I challenge you to spot it. I think I have, but we will come to that in a moment. So let's have a look at Daniel. Here we are. Here is Daniel in what is a very interesting collection of items, which when put together, I think works rather well. The initial impression is of obviously, I would say there's a little sprezzatura in this as well. The Italian sense of dressing in a discoordinated way to make it look nonchalant seems to be rubbing off on Daniel since his visit to Milan. However, let us begin from the ground up and see how Daniel has attired himself on his walk around the streets of Milan. So, on the feet we see an interesting, nice, I love the shine, I can see that immediately. Do you see how the shine is so important in a pair of shoes? It reaches out and draws your eye when you see that lovely mirror shine. And what we see here is a pair of, I would say, chestnut brown or sort of mid-brown. They are a derby style shoe, so the lacing is flaps on the front rather than the integral lacing system we see in an Oxford shoe. So leaning towards perhaps the less super formal, and it is what I've often described as a Gibson style shoe. So it's a shoe with no adornments or additional broguing or anything like that. So it's really quite simple, but of course simple always looks the best, particularly when you put a good shine on it. And I can see it's a leather sole shoe, and that shine just sings out and grabs me by the sole. It looks so good. Moving up the body, we see a pair of, I would say, I mean, it's hard to tell, obviously, looking at a video image or screenshot, but it is a pair of grey flannel trousers, or worsted wool, or something of that nature, but it looks like the classic grey flannel slacks to me. Appear to be a lovely pair of trousers, great length with the break, the bottom of the trouser cuff stopping halfway down the lacing system, which is just about perfect, what you should always aim for. Looks really nice. Sort of material holds a crease well, and I can see the crease in the trousers. Seems to be a flat fronted opposed to a pleated front, which is a little more contemporary, I would say, but it's a great fit, looks good, complements the appearance, and the grey and the brown of the shoe naturally marries well together. So looks great, I think, in my opinion. Moving up, we see a waistcoat, double-breasted, with lapels matching the trousers. So whether it's a three-piece suit and Daniel's just choosing to wear the trousers and the waistcoat, and he's gone for an odd jacket to spice it up, a little bit of sprezzatura, but the waistcoat is lovely, great cut, good fit, double-breasted, as I say, nice wide lapels, which is unusual but interesting visually. Bottom button of the double-breasted waistcoat left undone in this typical protocol, as is the way, and it looks rather nice. I love the wide lapels. It certainly lends a gravitas to the outfit. Now he's coupled it with or added it rather, with what appears to be a sort of heading towards a true blue blazer of some kind, or maybe an odd jacket from another suit, but thrown all together, I think it looks rather nice. It's a single-breasted, two-buttoned, notch lapel, shall we call it a blazer for the sake of argument, and I think it looks rather nice, lovely, good colour. The true blue, sort of a step away from navy blue, makes it a little more visually appealing, and certainly stands out more in this environment here, where I think the blazer or the jacket or the coat, however you wish to call it, really comes across very nicely. Looking at the accessories now, so shirt, quite a broad spread on the shirt, so accordingly, white shirt, so what more can you say? Pretty much the blank canvas for the other items that go with it. I will say that about 1/4 to 1/2 inch of the shirt cuff is visible beyond the sleeve of the jacket, which is perfect, it's what we aim for. That broad spread dictates a nice big knot on the tie, and we see a paisley style tie in predominant colour blue with a nice big, it looks like a full Windsor knot, which lovely fills in that space, got a good dimple going on in the classic style. Very, very well executed shirt and tie. And of course, in the breast pocket, the lavish white pocket square with the edging piped in a navy colour, which again ties in with the outfit entirely. From my opinion here, this is a lovely outfit. I imagine you fitted in superbly well on the streets of Milan, because, as I say, it's that addition of the true blue jacket with what appears to be, you know, the matching waistcoat and trousers. As I say, it's got that hint of sprezzatura, particularly with the pocket square as well. Really good outfit, nice. You could really deliver that in most situations, and I don't think you're going to have any trouble at all. So let's have a look at another one of Daniel's walking around outfits, I would suggest, in the glorious city of Milan. So here we go. Much more casual, as you can see. Much more, perhaps, in keeping for a day of trudging the streets as a tourist looking around. And as you can see, Daniel was right. Looking at the people in the background, he is the best dressed man, not in the room, but in the city. And in Milan, you know you've scored some points when you can say that. So starting at the ground, moving upwards, interesting shoes. Again, you know, when you're a tourist, comfort is the important thing. Nobody wants to hobble around all day in pinching, you know, brogues of some kind. But I think Daniel's hit an interesting middle ground here. He's gone for what one might probably describe in this day and age as kind of a hybrid style shoe, which is, there is smartness here, but there's also the comfort of what appears to be, it could even be a crepe sole, it looks like here. So great for absorbing the footfall as you're traipsing the streets, but also the upper, being of a leather construction, allows a bit of polish, a little bit of a shine, and there's one on here. I think it's great, nice little shoe choice. I don't always wear dress shoes, I have to say. When I'm, you know, putting in the miles on the pavement, I'll typically wear a pair of desert boots or something of that nature, so I can't fall out with anything you've gone with there. On the legs, appears to be a pair of jeans, but as we know, there's nothing wrong with wearing jeans, even in the sartorial capital of mainland Europe. Obviously not the capital of Europe when it comes to clothing, because that's in good old London. But in Milan, you can certainly get away with jeans. And here we see a good execution of how a man beyond a certain age should probably approach jean wearing. For a start, they're well fitted. They are fitting him well. They're not baggy. His backside isn't swinging around the back of his knees, as you often see with some jeans. It's a lovely fitted pair of jeans. The break, again, is where it should be, at the ankle point. And the other thing which stands out is the colour. A darker colour is always going to be more flattering as one gets older. An indigo colour like this, sort of dark blue, is a perfect execution. I stopped wearing jeans a few years ago, favouring trousers these days as a man approaching, or well, really in my mid-50s. I'm about to be 54. So really, you know, I think Daniel's done well there. Moving up the body, we see what is a sort of a mid-grey blazer covering the upper half of the body, which is a two-buttoned, single-breasted, notch lapel blazer. A casual, maybe travelling jacket, one might describe it, and yeah, grey is a good colour to go for because it's not going to argue or be in conflict with practically anything you wear with it. Grey, in essence, is a bit of a non-colour, isn't it? So, you know, you can wear anything with it. And he's doing well here. Nice fit, not too big, not too small, looking good. Good length in the arm. You can see he's wearing something of a flannel jacket, shirt rather, underneath, because it's just poking out at the cuffs. But yeah, looks good. No issues with that. And around the neck, in this sort of cravat style, he's got that, that plaid or tartan neck scarf, which, you know, looks really stylish. Actually, I quite like it. I've started favouring wearing scarves with less formal clothing or slightly more formal clothing in this nature myself, and yeah, it works well. The colours all go together, and of course the final accessory, the pocket square, again flamboyant, plenty of colour, piped edging, blue in predominant colour. It ties in with what appears to be the shirt and the trousers and even the shoes. Good. If you're walking around the streets, I mean, you know, as I've already said, you're the best dressed man in Milan, in this image anyway. So well done. You've knocked it out of the park. So going for a little more formal now, and obviously going out for an evening or something of that nature. And here we see Daniel certainly showing us the sartorial side. And let's begin at the ground. So we see those Gibson style chestnut brown shoes again, and that shine apparent again, looking good. And it's a good example of if you're traveling somewhere and you are traveling some distance and you need to reduce the amount of luggage you're taking. Certainly you don't want to be taking pairs and pairs of shoes. They're heavy, they're cumbersome. Taking one pair of shoes or two pairs of shoes which has got a broad wearability among the items, the other clothing that you're taking, is very sensible. And Daniel has done that here because these shoes go perfectly with the pinstripe suit which he's wearing, which again leans more towards, could be the lighting, but it's more towards the true blue than the navy blue, which is actually rather appealing on the eye. Let's work our way up the body. Pinstripe trousers, excellent break again at where the trouser meets the shoe, a good fit. Somewhat slim in the leg, but of course Daniel is a slim fellow, so he can pull that off rather nicely. It all looks entirely proportionate, and I can see that lovely crease down the front of his trousers because it casts a shadow. A good crease on the trouser casts a shadow. It makes itself immediately apparent. Moving up the body, we see the jacket, which is, now this is a good one actually if we look at this. It's a peak lapel, two-buttoned, single-breasted suit jacket. Obviously it's made in unison with those trousers, and yeah, I really like it. Now peak lapels you don't often see these days. I've only got one or two jackets and suits with peak lapels myself, and this is quite a broad lapel as well, which is indicative, I would say, of made to measure or bespoke tailoring. It's rarely seen off the rack these days. I mean, you won't see it off the rack because it's a somewhat niche, and it is definitely, if I see a peak lapel or certainly a broad peak lapel like this, my first thought is this is somebody who dresses for impact and they put some money into their clothing. So that's my initial thought when I see this garment, and looking at the way it's cut, quite possibly it is bespoke or made to measure. And as we know, Daniel has gone to Milan to buy some sartorial items, so that's not a difficult guess to make. So let's look at some of the elements of the jacket. First of all, see, you've made that classic error. You've got flat pockets, and one of the pockets is been poked into the pocket itself, so it looks more like a slit pocket, and the other one isn't. So you've mismatched your pockets. I do this all the time. You reach into a pocket to get a business card or something out. It's schoolboy error, but we all make it, don't worry. But no, other than that, lovely fit on the suit. No, if you remember in his email, he said he's done a little bit of his take on Italian sprezzatura. Can we spot it? I think I've spotted it, don't you? Let's have a look at that surgeon's cuff on the left-hand sleeve. So the surgeon's cuff are those buttons which you will see near the cuff of a suit jacket. Typically on off-the-rack clothing, the buttons are display only. But on better made clothes, the buttons actually do function, and the cuff can be turned back. Hence they call them surgeon's cuffs, because surgeons in the old days would simply turn back the cuffs before going to work on an operation or whatever. So here we go. Daniel has, I reckon, I've spotted his sprezzatura. He has deliberately left one of his surgeon's cuff buttons undone in a nonchalant style to show that his jacket is made to measure or bespoke, and the buttons work, and it's a good way of doing it. I like it. Very well done, Daniel. Very well done. White shirt, spread collar, as you can see. Interesting option of a tie. You've gone for a tie which is predominantly white with pink paisley pattern on it. Now, ooh, you know, this is, I've got a bit of a thing with light coloured ties on light coloured shirts, because often you stand 20 feet away and you won't be able to see the tie. It sort of blends into the shirt, camouflage effect. And all you'll see is these pink dots of the pattern. For me, I like to go with a strongly contrasting tie colour to the underlying shirt, because that's how the tie is going to be visible. If you wear a strong coloured, you know, if you're wearing a pink shirt, I would wear, you know, something which matches and marries with that colour. In this instance, I think perhaps the tie naturally blends into the background of the shirt a little too much, rendering it in effect camouflaged. But, you know, each to their own, and it is a lovely tie. Windsor knot filling that nice big space in the shirt collar. The shirt, of course, visible about 1/4 of an inch from the suit cuff, which is perfect. We can just see it there. And in the breast pocket, we see a presidential fold white pocket square. Perfect. That's all you need. It looks great. And this outfit, I mean, it's really well cut. I've little doubt this is made to measure or bespoke. Really cuts a nice dash. And being sort of a lean chap, you know, it just proves the point that, you know, the suit looks good when you're in good shape. So very good. And again, even looking at the crowd around, still the best dressed man in Milan. Congratulations. So the only thing that you need now, sir, is a companion who is equally well dressed. And where are we? Here's Alona, who is Daniel's charming girlfriend. And well, what a perfect comparison or companion rather, to have with that beautiful pinstripe suit which Daniel was wearing. It goes to prove the point that the effect of a suit, even on the female form, is to render the person looking more businesslike, more professional, more stylish in effect. And, you know, even on obviously a very attractive lady, you know, the suit renders the legs longer, makes you look longer, taller. The body, it defines the silhouette, makes the shoulders look broader, brings in the body at the waist, and of course these are feminine requirements as well as for gentlemen. And in this case, I think it's a beautiful suit of clothing. And here we see them together, cutting a dash on the streets of downtown Milan. What a handsome pair indeed. Daniel, Alona, you're certainly chap and chapess. Congratulations. You put Milan to the sword when it came to your sartorial offering, and I think you delivered absolutely. So there you go. Thank you for sending your images in. If you enjoyed this video today, give it a thumbs up. If you would like to see more like this, please subscribe. If you would like your images to appear here on the Am I a Chap series, all you need to do is send me an email with your images, best definition that you can, head to toe, so that we can offer your images to the other gentlemen out there who enjoy dressing well, to inspire and motivate them on their journey to chap nirvana along with us. So, if you'd like to support the channel, you could buy me a coffee, one-off thing, or even become a patron, just like Daniel is, and enjoy the additional video content which I produce specially for my patrons each and every week, and the information to all of that is in the show notes below. So, until the next time, take care, be the best dressed man in the street wherever you are in the world, and I will see you again very soon.